Hit the road for 10 days.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Bill Overby, and I've had the privilege of serving as this year's Academy Commander. And along with my colleague, Dr. Terry Edwards, we serve as co-chairs of the Department of Criminal Justice and Academies here at Skagit Valley College. We've had the privilege of working with your graduates for the past 17 weeks as they begin their journey into the realm of public service. Before we begin, I wish to acknowledge that this event is being live streamed over the internet to accommodate interested parties who could not be here today. This includes our partners at the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center in Glencoe, Brunswick, Georgia. And a warm Skagit Valley College welcome is extended to Superintendent Georgia Shaw, Branch Chief Mark Cutler, Accreditation Manager Crystal Clayton, and other staff who may be watching. We at Skagit Valley College are proud to participate in the protection of America's treasures, its parks, by producing quality graduates to preserve, conserve, protect, and interpret their outstanding natural, cultural, and historic features. This year will mark the 101st anniversary of the National Park Service and the 104th anniversary of the Washington State Parks and Recreation Commission. I will also recognize students from our local partner, the Northwest Career and Technical Academy's Criminal Justice Program, under the supervision of Mr. John Green, retired from the Aberdeen Police Department. Hopefully, this graduation ceremony will serve as an incentive for the NCTA students toward productive future careers in criminal justice. All too often, we associate the playing of bagpipes with memorial services for the fallen officers within our communities. However, bagpipes are also appropriately played at times of celebration such as these, and so it's proper that they be played to commemorate the accomplishments of our graduates this morning. It is fitting that our 27th graduating class is honored today by being led into this ceremony by our bagpipers, Mr. Peter Rolstad and Mr. Gary Griffiths of Bellingham, Washington. Let us begin then by greeting the 27th graduating class of the Parks Law Enforcement Academy. Would you please stand? This morning, the presentation of the flags will be performed by a color guard composed of members of this graduating class under the direction of color guard leader James Zumwalt. The flag of the United States of America is borne by Dakota Hinton. The flag of the state of Washington is borne by Chloe Nelson. The flag of the National Park Service is borne by Bo Bolding. And the flag of Snohomish County is borne by Jake Greve. The audience is asked to remain standing and participate in the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for the singing of our national anthem, a duet that will be performed by graduates Janet Anderson and Jordan Lingle. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You may be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my privilege to introduce you to Eduardo Jaramillo, the Vice President of Administrative Services, extending the official welcome to you from Skagit Valley College.
Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of the faculty, the staff, our president, Tom Keegan, who couldn't be here this afternoon, and everyone at college, we welcome you to the graduation, the graduation of the 2017 class. I have to tell you one thing, though. I love graduation. I look at some of these faces here today, and I wish I was that young again. sitting there going, I wonder where I'm going next and what's going to happen to my life. So we're all been there. Congratulations. I would also like to thank all the law enforcement officials that are here around us and on the stage, some of which have been graduates from this program and are come here to be proud of the class that follows them and continue the tradition. I would also like to extend a special welcome to the families and friends of our graduates. Often we don't talk about the families, think about the families, but they're the backbone and support for a lot of the graduates, helping them out, encouraging them, waking them up in the morning, kicking them out the door, whatever it takes to get them to graduate, and now they're here. It is nice to see supporters of the program, supporters of the students, and thank you for being here to honor. A little bit of history. The Parks Law Enforcement Academy began in Skagit Valley in 1991. It's one of seven seasonal law enforcement training programs around the nation, and is authorized and accredited by the National Park Service and the Federal Law Enforcement Training Accreditation Board, and is now the only one in the Pacific Northwest. We have been recognized many times for the high quality of our program, and later on you will meet some of the graduates that will be speaking here, or once you're out in the foyer, and you'll realize some high officials have graduated from this program. As a result of that, students come from all over the country to study at the Academy. As a matter of fact, the 47 students graduating today, 21 came to us from other states. The training is rigorous, it's demanding, and it encompasses a spectrum of law enforcement training, field work, tactical work, and an emphasis on natural and cultural response to keep them the way they look and protected. And those folks are seeing the future of that is sitting here today with us. They completed a lot of hours of training, like 720 hours, and we'd like to give facts up here. And now prepared to perform federal level 2 law enforcement duties for the National Park Service, as well for the Washington State Parks and the Recreation Commission. But I think what's more important is when you start, when I was asked to do this, I asked Bill for a little bit of background about where do our graduates go eventually, and some of the graduates end up in the FBI, the Secret Service, you name it, throughout law enforcement agencies throughout the country. So it's not just a springboard to Park Service, but it's a springboard to national law enforcement or state patrol law enforcement, and that's very important. And it shows to the quality of graduates that we put in front of the program. They have worked hard. They deserve to be celebrated. And on behalf of the president and myself personally, I wish every one of you the best as you begin the next chapter in your professional lives. And I would like everybody to join me in a round of applause one of the many rounds of applause for the class. Thank you very much.
Many of people have demonstrated an exceptional commitment toward the success of the graduates before you here today and are worthy of recognition. First, in dovetailing off of Ed's welcome, are the spouses, the children, the parents, relatives, and significant others, bosses and friends who very unselfishly put their lives and relationships on hold so that their graduating recruit could participate in this preparatory training. To you, you have my sincerest gratitude for making this sacrifice for your special graduates' participation, and thank you for traveling from far and wide this week to honor and celebrate the graduation of these new officers into their new roles as protectors and stewards of the land. I would also like to recognize all the administrators, staff members, instructors, advisory committee representatives, and community members who contributed expertise, time, money, food, drink, and moral support throughout the Academy. A sincere thank you for your assistance and your guidance. I saw Commissioner Ron Wesson come into the auditorium. Commissioner, would you please stand? Wherever you are, it's kind of hard to see through. Thank you very much for coming in today. I only saw a sliver of the people that were in the foyer. Are there any other elected officials in the audience? Would love to see some stand. Okay, evidently not. I would also like to ask those who have served our country, and this includes graduates, those who have served our country in the armed forces in protection of our freedoms. Please stand. It takes a proverbial village to nurture a crop of future park rangers. And today I would like to recognize staff from the Skagit Valley College family. Would you please stand? Members of the Parks Law Enforcement Academy Advisory Committee that are here today are Chief Ranger Eric Gabriel of the North Cascades National Park. Eric, thank you. Robert Ingram, the Chief of the Visitor Protection and Law Enforcement Branch of the Washington State Parks and Recreation Commission. Rich Patton, Operations Director, Snohomish County Parks and Recreation. David Green, Park Ranger Supervisor for the City of Everett Parks and Recreation. Bob Vokes, City of Anacortes Parks Department. Thank you. And Jerry Dodd, the Chief of the Mount Vernon Police Department. Okay, prepare for the whole floor to rise. I would like to at this time ask all Academy instructional staff to please stand. And thank you for your important contributions of time, knowledge, and skills. One young man who needs to be recognized as well has been with us from the beginning of this year's Academy, and his name is Alexander Bratz. Alex is a criminal justice major who will graduate this spring and served his internship requirement in support of Academy staff and your graduates. If we needed something done, call Alex. Alex, where are you at? Please stand. Thank you. It's also very special when one's had the opportunity to work with someone whom they so quickly bonded with in friendship and respect. About 4 years ago, I had the good fortune to meet the person who would fill a job opening in the Criminal Justice Department and academies in the form of Dr. Terry Edwards. Dr. Edwards has served the Academy as the instructor of all things legal, constitutional law, arrest, search, and seizure, rules of evidence, etc., and he served as a magistrate in the mock court last week. As you speak with your graduate in the days to come, there's no doubt that they're going to speak fondly of their time with His Honor, the good doctor, and a true Southern gentleman. Dr. Edwards. Finally, the cadets know her as lieutenant. Many of you in the audience have spoken or written to T. Davis Overby during the entry process into the Academy. The graduates today know her as the go-to person when something needs to happen quickly, or to lend an ear when they need advice, or if they're having less than what we call a mountaintop day. Her efficiency, her professional assistance contribute toward the excellence of this program, in addition to being the glue that holds this Academy together. I am indeed both fortunate and proud to call her both my work associate and my wife. There are 417 units in the National Park Service, which include but are not limited to parks, recreation areas, national historic places, landmarks, battlefields, seashores, and lake shores. And according to the NPS website, more than 325 million people visited the national parks in 2016, a record for attendance for that agency. Serving and protecting this many visitors underscores the importance of this program, providing specialized training for the preservation, conservation, protection, and within the context of enforcement, the interpretation of America's treasures, its unique parks and green spaces. The emergence of the National Law Enforcement Academies in the mid-1970s came in response to necessary changes in duties, responsibility, and public service protection that demanded great care and stewardship of its special places. The Seasonal Law Enforcement Training Program is managed by the National Park Service Law Enforcement Training Center in Glencoe, Georgia. The Skagit Valley College program, initiated in 1990 with its first academy being held in 1991, received its national accreditation by the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center Accreditation Board, along with 8 other colleges and universities in November 2011. Skagit was granted reaccreditation on April 15th of this year, as were 6 other academies. The program can best be described as a nationally accredited law enforcement academy with natural and cultural resources emphasis, taught on a community college campus. Skagit's program is 720 hours long and features training modules in constitutional and criminal law, human relations, crisis intervention, patrol procedures, motor code, crime scene and collision investigation, courtroom testimony, arrest, search and seizure, ethics and professional conduct, cultural sensitivity, and bias-based policing. Additionally, all the skills one would find in a traditional police academy are also found in this academy. Use of force, firearms, control tactics, chemical agents, and basic tactics, speed measuring devices, electronic control devices, and tactical medicine. Today's graduates were measured against strict national and state-developed industry standards and were held to these standards by their respective instructors. They have been tested at the academy level, and now they're ready for field assignments in special, remarkable places. Deputy Chief Ranger Gus Martinez traveled here to be with us today from his duty station at Yosemite National Park, one of those special places. For 31 years, Deputy Chief Martinez has worked in various capacities for the Park Service, including Point Reyes National Seashore, Big Bend National Park, Padre Island National Seashore, and Glacier Bay National Park prior to returning to Yosemite. His current responsibilities include supervision of law enforcement, emergency medical programs, search and rescue operations, a medical clinic in partnership with the United States Public Health Service, and the only fully staffed jail in the National Park Service system. Today, he will be speaking on the National Park Service perspectives on this, the 101st year of the National Park Service existence. We know that he is also the very proud father of one of our graduates today. Ranger Martinez, please.
Thank you very much, Chief Overby. Take off my glasses so I am not so nervous. I can't see the crowd now. I prepared a few notes, and I want to thank the 27th class for inviting me here, and your friends and family for indulging me. I am a proud father today, so thank you. I want to begin by recognizing the Law Enforcement Academy program and the training cadre for providing such an excellent opportunity for our future leaders in conservation law enforcement. Over the many years of hiring law enforcement staff, the Skagit Valley program has held the reputation for the best trained, best prepared candidates, and it's a credit to your leadership, Commander Overby. Thank you. Congratulations. It's a tremendous program. but there is hope. I went to Santa Rosa for my academy, and I did pretty good. So, to the graduates, I want to welcome you to the ranks of a unique group of law enforcement officers. Conservation law enforcement, be that a game warden, park rangers, wildlife range officers, we all face special challenges that most police officers don't. And sometimes most departments don't train for it. My staff right now is working with the FBI, U.S. Marshals to train them in rural tactics, rural law enforcement, things they don't teach at their academy. So you've gotten the ground floor on some very cool things that you're going to be doing. You know, we have to gain intimate knowledge of all the regulations protecting the beautiful lands and the wildlife that we're going to work at. You also have to get intimate knowledge of the regulations protecting the beautiful lands and monuments that are owned by the public, in addition to understanding all the different states you'll be working at and all the federal regulations that are part of that. So you thought you were done, you're not. There's a lot more to learn as you go along. We're going to often patrol alone and with our backup non-existent or miles away and hours away. So you have to make some decisions on your own with little or no supervision. And you're going to have to stand by that decision no matter what the consequences. So your character is going to guide you in making the right decisions. But just remember that it's a whole different world out there. You might get a little FTO, you might get to spend some time with another senior officer, but then you're going to be on your own making some decisions, and this academy has prepared you for that, I'm pretty sure. You're also charged with being the welcoming face of the agency you're going to represent. Our public lands are visited by our fellow countrymen. Many of our parks and public lands are visited by people from around the world. You'll find that nothing is black and white, and your experience and your values won't necessarily fit the mold or mesh with those of other visitors. You're going to be watching people do things that you would never think they would do, harming a park, and to you may be common sense. And so you're going to have to put that aside and be welcoming, be understanding, and coach them along to do the right thing. As a professional law enforcement officer, you just have to put your bias aside and just be ready to do that. Because you're going to make a difference in how they experience these areas. I don't know how many times I've told that to my staff to understand that, you know, no matter how long that day has been, that visitor coming up to you ask a question was just there to ask a question. And you may be wanting to go home, but you need to give them that smile, give them that time, and provide them that answer that they need, because you may just make their day. Maybe some of you went to a national park and met a ranger, and that's why you're here. Consider that. So what's the best advice I can give you? Well, always be a student of the law. Keep up with all the changes that the courts are dictating out there. It's a changing landscape every year. So stay with that. Know what your responsibilities are. Understand the law. Stay fit. Law enforcement is not a come as you go, come as you are field. You don't have time to stretch before you initiate that foot chase. You're not going to be able to prepare for that overnight hike into the wilderness to conduct a search for a missing person. You have to stay fit. You owe it to the public, and you owe it to your partners. Be polite, be professional, be consistent in your application of the law. Above all, stay flexible. Your job will change on any given day, at any given moment, and I guarantee nothing will ever go according to plan. I once heard this: experience is something you get shortly after you need it. So, as National Park Service officer, law enforcement officer, as you graduates, wherever you're going to work, you're going to be law enforcement officers. So remember, you're guardians of the Constitution, of the law, and of the public. You're stewards of some of the most beautiful and precious wildlands and monuments on this earth. You've been well prepared, so now you can go and be a part of America's best idea. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I have something for you.
Thank you very much.
Please accept that as a token of my
Thank you. Thank you.
You hear that? It's pretty good stuff, isn't it? You know why he said what he did? Would all the people that are in the auditorium that are in law enforcement in some phase please stand? You're about to join them. Another contributor and longtime friend of this program is Chief of Police Lou D'Amelio of the Swinomish Police Department. Lou has a proud career of over 27 years in multiple agencies, including 25 years with the Anacortes Police Department and 2 years with the United States Immigration and Naturalization Services. He today has joined the Swinomish Police Department and is taking that agency into new heights. I have asked Lou to share his views on the pride of public service in hopes that it'll be an inspiration to today's graduates. Lou?
Thank you. Well, after that introduction, I hope I say something interesting. Let me see what I've got here. Good afternoon. Oh, no. We're not in this alone here. Good afternoon. I feel like the words of Evel Knievel come to mind. Any fool can jump the bike. It's the landing part that's hard. And I feel like we're up in the air right now. We're seeing where we're going here. Greetings to Commander Overby, cadets, family members, assembled guests, and to my brothers and sisters in law enforcement. I want to begin by thanking the Commander for allowing me to spend a few minutes here today. This is a day of celebration, and I'm a proud part of it. My name is Lou D'Amelio. I'm the Chief of Police for the Swinomish Tribal Police Department here in the Skagit Valley. I'm proud to serve the Swinomish people who have been in the Valley for close to 3,000 years, having arrived just after Commander Overby. Okay. Is he laughing? He's laughing. Okay. More than 25 years in law enforcement has taught me a few things. One of the most important is to get to the point and to keep it short. Today my job is to speak, and yours, hopefully, is to listen. I will endeavor to complete my job before you complete yours. The concept of pride is important in law enforcement. In my department, I believe it's important in everything we do. In fact, we have a little mnemonic that we made up using the word pride to remind the officers in every way that pride is important. And I thought I would share that with the cadets today. Each letter has a special meaning. Now I'm going to go out on a limb here and ask for help from the cadets, that's dicey. So go with me here. All right, cadets, I'll give you this one. The first letter in pride is P. What do you suppose that stands for? Excellent. No, that's right. What? Go ahead. Protect. Protect is good. No. Go ahead. Perseverance. Excellent. No, that's right. There's only 600 more P words. Keep going. For us, it's professionalism. I ask my officers, and I would hope these cadets would act in a professional manner. And all that means comes with it, right? Neat uniform, on time. When you say something, you do something. Polite and respectful. These are the things that we expect from a professional law enforcement officer. All right, let's move to R. R? Respect. Well done. Well done. First guess, sharp crew. Okay, so respect for the public should not even be something I have to say. It's imbued in this crew. Before they came to us, you taught them respect for others. But I'm talking about respect for yourself. Law enforcement officers have to meet something that I like to refer to as the head-on-pillow test. Every night, when you're by yourself and your head rests upon your pillow, you have to have respect for yourself and the work you did that day on behalf of the people you serve. That's the true test of whether or not you're making the right decisions in your line of work. So professionalism, respect, integrity. That would have been really good. Well, I didn't go with that one. What else you got? You look really smart today. Intelligence, excellent guess. They are so smart. Recently, a patrol officer was dispatched to a shoplifting call where the store had detained an adult man for shoplifting. When the officer arrived and investigated, he learned that this was a single dad who was stealing formula for his child. So the officer, pretty clear cut, right? Person had violated the law, he got caught with the goods, the store owner was right there. The officer opened his wallet and bought $20 worth of formula for the dad. And then he hooked him up with a local church to make sure that he wouldn't need to keep coming down and stealing the formula that he could not afford. I believe that's an intelligent decision. We hire good people, and we expect them to make smart decisions when they're working. All right, I'm going to give you D, not because you haven't been doing great, because I'm trying to speed this along. All right, determination. Determination. Every organization that you work for will have goals, and you yourself should have personal goals. And you cannot achieve your goals unless you are determined to do so. Every day and every way, you must choose to follow your path and achieve your goals through your determination. And finally, I know they're going to get E here. Go ahead, give me E. Okay, I was wrong about that. But I know on the next guess they're going to get E. Go ahead. Ethics, there you go, ethics, thank you very much. I'm going to change these. They have some good answers here. There are some things that you cannot teach. You can teach about them. You can teach the consequences of not having them. But ethical, kind-hearted, good behavior, for that, we owe you a thank you. To the parents, the grandparents, the family members, the support group, to all of you who are here today on behalf of these cadets, you've done a wonderful job of bringing them along ethically in the world. And that's on you. Thank you very much. And so, I want to encourage the cadets too that this concept of constantly trying to take pride in your work is something you have to pursue. If at first you do not succeed, don't go into skydiving. Thank you for those of you who are old enough to remember Henny Youngman on that one, right? But in law enforcement, trying and succeeding is an important part of what we do. Things don't always go to plan. You got to hang in there. You got to pursue your goals. You got to stay after it. So try and try and try. To help you along that path, I thought I'd share just a few quotes. These are some of my favorites. I only have about another 40 minutes here, so if you need. The other day, some folks were standing around talking about what a tough time this is to go into law enforcement. With all that's going on in the world and everything that's happening in our politics, isn't this a tough, tough time to go into law enforcement? And then that same day, I read this. Wisdom and good examples are necessary at this time to rescue the political machine from the impending storm. Wisdom and good examples are necessary at this time to rescue the political machine from the impending storm. And I thought, man, that says it all. If there was ever a time when we needed wisdom and good decisions. James Madison, 1786. We haven't changed. We're a country of rebels. We started as a country of rebels. Our Constitution was born in a rebellious act. There's always room for healthy political debate. And that's where we are now. It's an excellent time to be going into law enforcement. In the 1780s, the government was struggling under the Articles of Confederation. It gave each state broad powers, but only limited powers to the newly born federal government. In the summer of 1787, each state sent delegates to Philadelphia, and their goal was to amend the Articles of Confederation. Instead, they sealed the doors, elected George Washington to preside over the convention, and created an entirely new document. The United States Constitution was born. For 230 years, the Constitution has guided this country through challenge after challenge. The Bill of Rights and the 7 Articles of the Constitution provide our nation's citizens with protections that now these cadets are empowered to enforce. In fact, I have made the argument that every action taken by every law enforcement agency and officer every day should be traceable back to the United States Constitution. And so I offer to you the following quote as guidance. "The Constitution is the guide that I will never abandon." So said George Washington 230 years ago, and it still works today. And now, I'd like to tell you a story. Prior to working for the Swinomish folks, I was a captain in the Anacortes Police Department, and before that I was a sergeant. And one day I was working the road and I got a call from an officer, "Hey, Sergeant, can you meet me someplace?" Sure. So we pull up door to door, and he says, "Yeah, listen, out on one of the main streets there is a monster cat that got hit by a car, and it's a mess." Oh, man, that's terrible. And he said, "Yeah, there's all kinds of traffic and there's people there, and it's terrible." I said, "Okay." He goes, "I called Public Works, and so far they haven't showed up." So he said, "I was thinking, you being a sergeant, maybe if you got involved." I said, "Oh, no problem. I know how to solve this." So he handed me the phone to call Public Works to clear this up. And I got a shovel out of my trunk and handed it to him to go clear this up. You're all familiar with carpe diem, seize the day. Well, candidates, cadets, welcome to carpe succo. In the words of the United States Army, I offer you this quote: "Embrace the suck." Embrace the suck, because there will be duties that fall to you, and only to you, that are going to have to be taken care of. There are going to be things that you say to yourself, "Oh, you're kidding, this is going to be so much work, and this is going to be something that's just going to be so hard to do," and it's your job. Those are the moments when we measure your mettle. Those are the moments when we look to see if you step up to the plate and say, "Mine is a career of service." It's not all fun and glory. I know this is a shock, but it's not all car chases and explosions. So embrace the suck. Get used to it, step up to the plate, and take care of business. I need some help with this third and final quote. It has been my experience that often we don't communicate as well as we would like. Our words have meaning, our actions have more meaning, we know that. But sometimes moments pass, especially amongst families, where you meant to say something and you just did not get to it. So, time for a little audience participation. Please rise. Thank you. Are you proud of these candidates? Yes. I need you to say the word proud. Proud. We are proud. We are always proud of these candidates. Now, just hang on. You're doing great. Please rise. Nice. This is a group that has gathered to honor you. and the hard work you've done to bring yourself to a life and a career in law enforcement. They're evidently proud. Does that make you happy?
Yes, sir.
Oh, goodness gracious. They're right here. Don't look at me. Does that make you happy?
Yes.
You need to say the word happy.
Happy.
We are
Proud.
And we are
Happy.
We are very
Proud.
Very
Proud.
And we are extremely
happy.
Thank you, everybody. Please take your seats. Nicely done. The last and final quote that I would like to share with you is from the poet, Maya Angelou, who said, "I've learned that people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did. But people will never forget how you made them feel." And I hope we've done a little bit of that today. Mark Twain is one of my favorite authors. How could you not like a man that once said, "It's good sportsmanship to not pick up lost golf balls while they're still rolling"? He also said that it's no wonder that truth is stranger than fiction, because fiction has to make sense. Cadets, you're about to embark upon a grand adventure. Like generations of law enforcement rangers before you, you will find that the truth is stranger than fiction. You have earned front row tickets to the greatest show on earth, the real lives of ordinary people. Some of what you will see and experience will be unbelievable, and I am jealous of the adventure that you're about to undertake. But don't for a minute believe you're going to be joining a law enforcement club. Clubs are organizations that just anyone can join. Pay a monthly fee, go to a meeting, you're in the club. No. This is a team. And not everyone can be on a team. Some don't have the heart, the desire, or the skill to make it on the team. Now, we know that you do. I will close with this thought. After 28 years of service, I am still anxious to go to work every day in the service of people. I take great pride in my work, and when my head rests upon the pillow at night, I know I have tried my very best to help the people in my community. More than anything else, that is what I wish for each of you. Congratulations and Godspeed.
I always hate this minute when I have to follow him. Just sucks. And that part about not forgetting things, the 3,000, you owe me a snickerdoodle. Chief. At the beginning of each academy session, when they're still trying to find their way literally around the room, the class is divided up into two squads, the Evergreen Squad and the Cascade Squad. Representing these two squads today with their perspective on the 27th session experience are graduating cadets Robert Holland for the Evergreen Squad and Cadet Dylan Romine of the Cascade Squad. I'm not sure which order they chose to go in, so I'll let them figure that out.
First off, I'd like to welcome all of you today. It's an honor to stand up here in front of you and see everyone out here supporting us today. I'd like to start on day one, January 2nd at 06:58. I observed Commander Overby walk into the room wearing a flat hat. Being a U.S. Marine, I said to myself, oh no, here we go again. I quickly learned that this flat hat wearing man was different. He was stern and a no-nonsense, yet a very kind-hearted man, and that my nose was safe. For those that don't know, in the Marine Corps, the flat hat is used to smack you on the bill of your nose to wake you up when you're not paying attention. I was glad that was not the case. I'm honored to stand here before you and represent the men and women of Evergreen Squad. I hope I met and exceeded each one of your expectations throughout the Academy as your squad leader. I told you at the beginning I cared about each one of you, and I wanted to see you each on stage with me today. For those that made it, I salute you. Class 27, your journey has just begun. For those going to national parks, I always want you to remember your NPS core values. Shared stewardship. We share a commitment to resource with global preservation of community. Excellence. We strive continually to learn and improve so that we may achieve the highest ideals of public service. Integrity. We deal honestly and fairly with public and one another. For the Rangers on this stage that are going to Washington State Parks, I want you to remember your agency's core values. Commitment to stewardship that transmits high-quality park assets to future generations. Dedication to outdoor recreation and public enjoyment that welcomes all our citizens to their public parks. Excellence in all we do. Involving the public in our policy development and decision making. Support for one another as we translate our mission into reality. And for those Rangers going to Snohomish County Parks, always remember your core values. Integrity, commitment, dignity, and pride. To both squads, if you forget everything you have learned, I want you to remember your integrity. Your integrity should never be a concern. I want you to make a promise to me as I make the same promise to you. You will always be honest and do the right thing. You have taken an oath to protect and serve the people, and any and all decisions you make need to be made in good faith. To all the Rangers on this stage, today, 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now, I want you to remember this day and how you feel right now. When your days are tough, I want you to remember today. When your days are great, I want you to remember today. You have dedicated over 720 hours of training to get to this day. You've worked hard for this moment. Don't ever let someone take that away from you, and don't do anything to let them take it away from you. Remember, the same laws that applied to you before this training and after you're commissioned still apply to you. Act in good faith and follow your agency's policy, and you'll do fine. As many of us go our separate ways after today, I want you to know that I'll always be here to support you in any way that I can. I am proud to stand up here and call each one of you my fellow park rangers. I would like to finish today by thanking all the families that have made some huge sacrifices and adjustments so your son, daughter, husband, wife, or dad could be here. I would especially like to thank my wife. Your strength and dedication to our family and handling everything in my absence was truly amazing. She'll probably tell you it was easier having the biggest kid out of the house for 4 months. Either way, I love you and thank you. I could not have accomplished this without you. I'd also like to thank all of our instructors, Chief Dodd, Chief D'Amelio, who we just got to have some fun with, Hugh Dewar, Kevin Russum, Jason Stapert, Ken Hageman, Sergeant Harris, Sergeant Don, Tim Duran, Rich Phillips, Lieutenant Brulette, and Jed Cates. I apologize if I missed anybody. Thank you for all you did. Now to the 3 pillars of the Academy. When I looked at my schedule and I seen over 40 hours of constitutional law, I almost ran home with my tail between my legs. I then realized that Kentucky had sent their finest trooper and lawyer to instruct these sections. With that being said, I had to stick around for that show. I got to meet Bubba 2, Boubet, which is apparently Bubba's cousin from France. In all seriousness though, thank you, Dr. Edwards. You're an amazing instructor, and would you mind taking a moment of explaining curtilage to us again? Lieutenant Overby, you're an amazing woman. Your dedication to all my fellow Rangers showed throughout the entire Academy. You were a shoulder for some to cry on, probably even for Commander after dealing with us after certain days. and then you were a boot in the butt on other days for us. I don't think we'll ever know exactly how much you do on a daily basis. We just know this academy would not run without you. I will always appreciate our quick afternoon chats and telling me to smile when I wasn't. Thank you again for all you did for this academy and continue to do. Commander, you, sir, are the true definition of a role model. I can only hope that at the end of my career that I'm half the Ranger that you are. I look forward to knowing and representing you with everything you have taught me for years to come. And I hope I make you proud as I move forward. I know I speak for the whole class when I say thank you, and we won't let ourselves or you down. And yes, we already know, talk is cheap. Thank you again, sir. It has been an honor. And thank all of you today.
Bear with me here. Pull my paper. Good afternoon. I'm honored today to speak on behalf of Cascade Squad, Skagit Valley Parks Law Enforcement Academy, class number 27. I want to start off by giving thanks to Commander and Lieutenant Overby. If it wasn't for their dedicated support, infinite wisdom, selflessness, and unimaginable hard work, this academy would not happen, and we would not be sitting on this stage today. Dr. Edwards, or as he would say, "Hi, trooper, got a warrant?" Southern accent thing, everyone get it. I, along with every cadet up here, know that if it wasn't for your classic Bubba scenarios and astounding criminal law lectures, we would not be ready to embark on the career that lies ahead. Also, huge thanks to Hugh Dewar, Jason Stapert, Chief D'Amelio, Chief Dodd. For those of you who don't know, Chief Dodd pretty much lent us his police department to do all defensive tactics in. Thank you for that. Sergeant Harris, Sergeant Mike Don, Kevin Davis, Jed Cates, and all the other instructors that dedicated their time to train us to become the best Rangers we can be, and also to ensure that we had the best training that could have been provided. And finally, let's not forget our families and loved ones, for they are the ones whom had to watch us disembark for 17 weeks. I came from Wyoming. It's ironic, right before I left Wyoming, usually people know for a lot of snow. I left with 36 inches of snow. So my family, they held down the fort. They supported me, supported us. And for some of us cadets, took on the roles for caring for our children and loved ones while we were gone. Some of us traveled across country to attend this academy, as far as Vermont for one of us. It shows the amount of dedication that we have and the amount of dedication that you have to us, and I thank you. Again, the amount of thanks that could be said would stretch from here to Maine. On the second day of Academy, Chief Dodd lectured us on core values that all law enforcement officers should have. They include, but are not limited to, accountability, commitment, compassion, honesty, loyalty, respect, and trust. When talking about these core values, I speak on behalf of all of us sitting on this stage today. Accountability, whether it was writing the ever so exciting memos that Dr. Edwards had us write throughout the academy, or ensuring that we are all accountable for every action that we made while we were here, I know that all of us up here have a strong grasp on accountability, and I have faith in knowing that all of us up here will be accountable for our actions when we leave this academy and start our careers. Commitment. All of us sitting up here had commitment the moment we got in our vehicles and made the trek to Skagit Valley College to attend this academy. We had commitment when we shot the 25,000 rounds of ammunition, when we drove the cop cars around the airport really fast, and took the excruciating amount of pain at OC Day, which sucked. Commitment is not a trust to be taken for granted, or is not a trait to be taken for granted, excuse me. I, along with every cadet up here, are committed to this profession and lifestyle. It's something that we were born and raised to do. Compassion. As the old saying goes, a park ranger is a jack of all trades. We're law enforcement officers, EMTs, search and rescue personnel, resource protectors, information databases, and counselors. And the trait that all of those have previously stated have those in common. Every single one of us must have compassion to be able to do all those things. Whether it's enforcing the law or assisting on a medical emergency, I truly believe that all of us up here has what it takes to successfully do that. Honesty. This career is based on that of public service. The public looks at us as being honest people with an honest career. The life of a park ranger isn't just about enforcing the law, but also protecting the land. To do this, we must be honest with ourselves, the public, and the land. I solely believe that all of you excel in honesty and has what it takes to be honest park rangers. Loyalty. Loyalty is unwavering in good times and bad, and loyalty may involve a sacrifice we are more than willing to make. But one thing to remember is respect is earned, honesty is appreciated, trust is gained, and loyalty is returned. Loyalty to oneself and loyalty to the job is something that never goes unnoticed. I have faith that all of us up here will show loyalty to our communities, to the leaders, our supervisors, and the land. Respect, as quoted by the ever so famous Clint Eastwood. Respect your efforts, respect yourself. Self-respect leads to self-discipline. When you have both firmly under your belt, that is true power. Respect is a trait that is expected of all park rangers, especially us. Respect was hammered into us while we attended this academy. I remember Commander Overby telling me that respect is not imposed nor begged, it's earned and offered. So I implore that all of us go to our parks and earn and offer that respect. Finally, trust. As law enforcement rangers, trust is something that we will work our whole lives perfecting. From the start of this academy to the end, we were taught that trust is a cornerstone of law enforcement. With trust comes a great responsibility of keeping that trust. I truly believe that all of us have that trust and will keep it for the remainder of our careers. And the thing to remember is trust takes years to build, seconds to break, and forever to repair. With all those core values comes a challenge. I challenge all of you to use these core values in everything we do. After all, we are all in this for the same reason. We are selfless and caring and want to help people and help protect the land that we're so fortunate to be able to enjoy. Thank you.
So those speeches were the requirement of those two positions. The next speaker is one that was selected. The 47 people on stage were tasked with selecting a graduating class speaker, and this year that honor goes to Cadet Alicia Johnson, who will soon be working in her duty station at Beacon Rock State Park. You see why I keep them in the front row? Keep me straight. Even better, they elected Emily Massengale. How did I get that all that?
My name is Emily Massengale, not Alicia Johnson, and I am from Snohomish County Parks. I want to thank you all for being here today. On behalf of the class of 2017, we all thank you for taking the time out of your day. If you would, take a walk with me down memory lane. Imagine a time when you were younger, playing the childhood game of cops and robbers. This quintessential representation of good versus evil. At the time, not knowing any more than your childhood brain knew, yet you understood that the cops chased the robbers. This hardcore cop and bad guy robber are only a small example into the world of policing. As officers in this field, we will undoubtedly encounter that robber from time to time, but the vast majority of our job will be in dealing with encounters that aren't as easy to make a childhood game out of. Law enforcement isn't as finite as your childhood may have suggested. As law enforcement officers in this field, we will wear many different hats in this career. We will help lost children to find their parents and direct hikers to their intended trailheads. We will counsel those who need our help and compassion, and we will provide first aid care on accident scenes. We will locate the perfect campsite for an excited family camping trip and clean more park restrooms than we'd like to talk about. Most importantly, we will fulfill our duties to the best of our ability each day. This duty is not something that we take lightly. We will carry with us an immense responsibility each day. These ever-changing duties of a park ranger help to create the well-rounded perception of policing that we know and operate under today. Undoubtedly, our line of duty includes more than catching the robbers. I can remember one of the very first days of our firearms instruction up at the rifle plantation range. We were given these simple words of advice before we began our weapons training. Follow through and set a good example. As we move forward in our career today, I hope that we can employ these words to the beginning of our lifelong careers as well. Follow through on your responsibilities, set a good example each and every day, and let your passion guide your path. Each person sitting up here on this stage has a gift to bring to this force, individually incredible assets that will make each department we become a part of that much better. We owe an immense amount of gratitude to our instructors and helpers, our intern Alex, and the many volunteers and departments that allowed us to use their resources and departments, and also to the world's best lieutenant and commander. Thank you all for your coaching and your teaching. Fellow classmates, over the last 4 months, we have made connections through our shared visions and values of the natural world, and we have bonded through our shared passion for our great lands. I would be honored and proud to work alongside you in this field. Wherever our career takes us, I know our skills, knowledge, experience, and training are going to help us excel in parks throughout this country. Today, 47 cadets graduate from the Parks Law Enforcement Academy here at Skagit Valley College, and today, 47 cadets are ready to enter into this line of duty. We are the class of 2017. We are the next generation of America's park rangers. God bless you, God keep you, stay safe out there. And now, we've all been waiting for Lisa Johnson. She's going to present our class gifts.
Thank you, Emily. Hello, I am Alicia Johnson.
I'm Doug Ian.
On behalf of PLEA Class 27, we would like to express our sincere appreciation to all of our instructors. The wealth of their knowledge and experience laid the foundation of our training, and their lessons will guide our futures and attitudes as Rangers. Thank you. We had so many instructors. If I could, I would take the time to list each and every one of them by name and tell you the impact each one had on our class. Unfortunately, we would be here for hours, and I know all of you are just waiting to get out into that reception hall and have some goodies. There are some key players that we would like to take a quick moment to honor. First of all, we would like to thank Chief Dodd and Chief D'Amelio. Chief Dodd generously allowed our class to use his facility for much of our defensive tactics training, use of force training, and courtroom mock trials. Chief D'Amelio, he instructed our report writing class, did our firearm safety training, and he's also the best defense attorney we have ever seen with a police badge. His charm made for some of the most entertaining lectures. To the both of you, we'd like you guys to have a $50 gift certificate to Outback Steakhouse.
Next, we would like to thank Dr. Terry Edwards. Dr. Edwards uses wit and sheer Southern charm to make the indecipherable world of law not only understandable, but entertaining. His instruction was not limited to the inner workings of constitutional law, but he was also brilliant. He was also a brilliant resource to all of us on memo and report writings. We'll never forget how hard he made us laugh with one well-delivered line. We can't thank you enough for how much you've done for this academy. For you, we would like to present the golden gavel so you may always be the honorary Judge Edwards in our hearts.
Next, we would like to give a big thank you to one of the most vital players in keeping this academy running smoothly and keeping 47 baby Rangers in line, Lieutenant T. Davis Overby. The lieutenant has put countless hours into making sure this academy was organized and seemed to always answer emails before he even finished sending them. From classroom changes to certifications to planning a graduation ceremony, she has made it all come together with ease. To show our appreciation for all that you do, we got you a $200 gift certificate to your favorite nursery so you can put Commander to work on your yard.
Lastly, we would like to show our appreciation, gratitude, and respect to one of the greatest Rangers I've ever met, and the man that pushed us to this day. Commander William Overby, your dedication to this academy and to the training of the next generation of Rangers is an inspiration. Your discipline, experience, passion, and for the job are incredible examples of how a Ranger should be. You give so much to the running of this academy. No amount of thanks can do you justice. You are a man deserving of the highest honor and our utmost respect. To show you how much we appreciate your leadership, we've submitted a nomination letter to the Skagit Valley College's Hall of Fame. Our hope is that when you leave the college, your legacy will be forever honored in these halls.
Don't sit down just yet. We're not finished. In addition, to ensure that you continue to be a part of the Parks Law Enforcement Academy at Skagit Valley College, cadets and friends put together a scholarship fund in your honor. The scholarship is totaling at $1,188 and some change. This is designed to be a resource for future cadets as they pursue Parks Law Enforcement. As you have supported hundreds of Rangers before us, and as your last class, we want to make sure that cadets for years to come will be able to see your lasting impression upon this academy. All of you here today can help us get the scholarship endowed. Our goal is to reach $10,000. This scholarship fund will be able to receive contributions for anybody willing to be a part of this lasting legacy. We will have envelopes out in the reception hall for any friends or family that would like to contribute. We love you, Commander, and you have forever changed our lives.
Well, what a way to get knocked out of your game plan, huh? So this all started with me screwing up with Massengale, and it wasn't the first time that that's happened. Usually O'Malley was involved in this some way. Thank you very much. I have no words. I truly don't. But it is time to present you with some awards. And I do so with pride and the utmost respect in all that you've done over the course of this academy. The first award is entitled the Association of National Park Rangers Seasonal Perspective Award. It was instituted in 2010 by SVC graduate Jason Allen, who served for several years as the national representative for the Association of National Park Rangers for the Seasonal Ranger Unit. The Seasonal Perspective Award recognizes professionalism, demeanor, leadership, and a stewardship ethic, and is unique to this college. It's fitting, and this is not part of my written remarks, but it is fitting that there are several members of the 2010 graduating class in the audience today. Gentlemen, will you please rise? What is unique about that group is that there's representatives of the National Park Service, the U.S. Customs and Border Protection, the Union, if I'm not mistaken, the Union Police Department of Union, New Jersey, Lincoln County Sheriff's Office, and Washington State Department of Fish and Wildlife. At least that many. There's probably some state park rangers in there as well. Thank you. There they are right there. Thank you so much for all your contributions. Everett City Parks as well. This award awards a one-year membership to the Association of National Park Rangers as well as a subscription to the quarterly publication Ranger Magazine. The recipient's name is also placed on a plaque which resides in the honor case in the Parks Law Enforcement Academy classroom. This year's Seasonal Perspectives Award is presented to Bo Bolding. Physical fitness is an incredibly important aspect of all phases and aspects of one's life generally, and specifically to those who engage in public safety activities. Today, we also honor those who have excelled in the physical efficiency battery and other academy physical fitness requirements. Many cadets made huge strides in their physical fitness commitment and improvement. I'm going to name several people who had significant percentage increase. And in the interest of time, I will tell you that you will have an award, a paper award that you'll find in your packet when you retrieve that from Lieutenant Overby after this. But I would like you to stand and remain in place when you're named. Over 16 plus weeks, people who gained in their fitness improvement. Robert Holland, 10%. Andrew Curley, 10%. Truly McCone, 23%. Saul Martinez, 27%. And Rory Baresh, 40%. You may be seated. And now it's my privilege to present the top National Park Service Overall Fitness Award to Nicholas Roberts. Hang on, I'm looking here. I thought this was in order, so hang on. There you are. Congratulations.
Thanks,
all right,
sir.
Awesome job. I'd like to also present the top state overall fitness award this year to Bryn Sitkevich. I'm not sure if our fitness instructors and the folks that were involved in the PEB are in the audience. Jack Hart, are you here someplace? There he is, right there. He's the man. Jack headed this up along with Jeremy Jalali and Bryce Watkinson. Thank you very much on behalf of the cadets and myself. In the audience, we also have at least one emergency vehicle operations instructor, and that is Sergeant Kevin McFadden of the Whatcom County Sheriff's Office. There are a number of awards to be issued to the folks in the EVOC training. We'll start with vehicle dynamics, but before I really start talking about that, I need to get these awards in order, or it's going to be a hot mess up here. Okay, here they are, I believe. And I believe there's something back here. Is there correct? Watch me juggle now. That'll be good. Thank you. I knew I kept him around here for some reason. The vehicle dynamics course is 1.4 miles long with a total of 15 cone patterns to navigate. There are a total of 232 cones. They consist of 12-inch and 18-inch cones as well as 36-inch delineator cones. Times must be completed under 2 minutes 45 seconds with no more than 5 errors. During this, we have what's called EVOC clean runs, and these are awarded to drivers who successfully complete one clean qualification run during performance testing. I will ask the cadets to stand and remain in place, much like what you saw with the earlier recipients of the fitness awards, because I want to recognize you for your one clean qualification run. These awards are given to Andrew Curley, Chris Pribernow, Jake Grevet, Truly McCone, Michael Santucci, Shelby O'Malley, Tyler Scott, Connor Balsamo, Troy Schaefer, Sol Martinez, Tucker Pruitt, Dylan Romine, Sean Cosgrove, Ryan Emerson, and Bo Bolding. Now, truly remarkable are the certificates that are given for having 2 of these clean qualification runs. Cadets with certificates that they will receive for 2 clean qualification runs will be given to Robert Holland, Zachary Armstrong, Gregory Morgan, Trevor Martinez, and Eric Bell. The EVOC Top Gun Award for EVOC course is awarded to the student driver with the quickest clean run of the combined squads during a one-run competition. In this case, 2 minutes, 27 and 90/100th seconds of flat-out precision driving. That award goes to Andrew Curley. Andrew. The EVOC placement course is approximately 1/10 of a mile long and consists of 5 patterns that have to be navigated both in forward gear and reverse. The course consists of approximately 60 36-inch tall delineator cones. This course must be completed in under 2 minutes 15 seconds and there can be no cones struck. The Top Gun Award for Placement course, which is awarded to the student driver from the combined squads with the quickest clean run during qualifications at 1 minute, 19 and 10/100 seconds, is Jake Grevet. And finally, the overall EVOC Top Gun Award awarded to the student driver from the combined squads with the quickest clean run during qualifications at 2 minutes, 26 and 9/100 seconds is Zachary Armstrong. Now, your graduate's probably going to go home and talk about people like Kevin Davis, and Jed Cates, and Kevin Russum. I don't know if Kevin's in the audience today, yes or no. As being these guys that just had their way with your respective cadet and just beat them halfway senseless. But the fact is, they spent a lot of time helping them develop techniques, both for control and for arrest, and there's some awards that are going to be presented today for that. These awards are provided through the advice from the control tactics instructors who shared with me their observations and their handling of cadets during practices and closed-skilled testing for control tactics and arrest techniques. The top defensive and control tactics award is presented for demonstrating excellence in the proficiency of all phases of use of force and control methods during closed skills proficiency testing, and it carried over then onto field exercises in terms of things like handcuffing and overall violator control. This award this year goes jointly to Alicia Johnson and Connor Balsamo. We also taught them how to shoot. That right, Ken? Where's all your firearms instructors? I see Jason Stapert next to you. Were anybody else here? Hugh, are you here someplace, Hugh Dewar? Yeah, there he is, up there at the top. Excellent. And I know there's more out there. Whether or not they were able to make it today, I don't know. Firearms proficiency awards are given in addition to their fundamentals of shooting. They learned the nomenclature, care, maintenance, carry, and use of force implications behind the use and display of 9mm semi-automatic pistols, 12-gauge police shotgun, and AR-15 police long rifles. The cadets must shoot a National Park Service prescribed qualification in all three firearms in both daylight and low light conditions, and the state parks individuals will shoot qualifications in their course of fire. Top shooter awards this year, there are two. These gentlemen were the top shooters, as the award would indicate. I know at least one of them shot a perfect 30 out of 30 score on both day and night quals, and the other one shot a perfect day score, I believe it was. Top shooter awards go to Troy Schaefer and Dylan Romine. The cadets also vote, and they wait until just in the last few days to choose a Tactical Choice Award winner. After completion of all the mock scenes in basic tactics, patrol tactics, active shooter training, and scenario-based blocks, the person is selected by his or her peers who best reflects attributes that the voter would want in a partner. Who would you select to be by your side as a partner if the chips were down and you needed the best possible partner alongside of you? It's instructive that this year several cadets received votes, but in the end, 2 cadets tied for this award. The Tactical Choice Award for 2017 goes to William Emmons and Robert Holland. Arguably, because it came from a vote of their peers, it's considered to be one of the top awards in the Academy. Academic achievement. Probably you no doubt heard from your cadet about the hours of study, the federalized testing process that was done, kept people on edge. Is that fair to say? Kept you on edge? Yes. There are 6 of those that are done. The instructors, myself and Dr. Edwards, basically we don't know what is going to be on those examinations. We don't see them. And it's an effort to help the graduate to be able to read and comprehend and understand without rote memorization. And it helps to make you be more tactically proficient at the end and better at your job. The student that wins this year's Academic Achievement Award is a person who scored over 6 written examinations or 6 federally administered test scores, written assignments in the areas of collision investigation and arrest, search and seizure, report writing, and crime scene investigation, and then Dr. Edwards' memoranda that has been assigned. The student scored 95.125% over all those areas. This year's Academic Achievement Award goes to Bo Bolding. And finally, the overall Top Cadet Award goes to the individual that demonstrates consistently high standards of completion in all phases of Academy subject matter. It does not mean that that individual was at the top of the list on each and every test or each and every skill or things of this nature, but was just consistently high placing in all phases of this. There are this year, and this has only happened I think twice in the history of the Academy here at Skagit Valley College, dual recipients of this award. For 2017 Top Cadet Award, names will be placed on the plaque in the PLEA classroom. Those 2 recipients, Bo Bolding and Robert Holland. Now this is where things kind of get a little haywire. It's time to present the graduating class of 2017 with their certificates of completion. For that honor and privilege, I'm going to ask the gentlemen that are seated on this side of the room to join me, and the gentleman here to join me. Now, this is going to be a rather long and lengthy receiving line. Well, I don't know that we can. They got it kind of stapled down, but we can just carry it out here. We'll play this by ear. Okay? You're going that way anyway, so let's make this work. What do you want to say? Well, I think let's do this. Let's start you down here. Okay? No, they haven't come. Yeah. We'll get them. All right. Yes. All right, that'll be fine. Robert Dale Holland. Zachary Ray Armstrong. Joshua Nash. Jeffrey Sunshine. Daniel Joaquin Badillo. Connor Eficio Osama. Kelly G. Marston. Eric James Bell. Rory Ann Brick. Angelina Leonora Chavez. Sean Eric Cosgrove.
Send him through again. Congratulations.
Ryan Samuelson Emerson. William Lee Emmons. Mary Elizabeth Frazier. Douglas Edward Meehan. Mitchell Cole Garrett. John Ryan James. Alicia Michelle Johnson. Andrew David Curry. Chase Maurice Luan. Jordan M. Lincoln. Saul Associate Martinez. Trevor Lee Martinez. Emily May Massendale. Truly Estelle McComb. Gregory Daniel Morgan. Curtis Daniel Moses.
If you just said something, I didn't hear what it was.
Sylvie Marie O'Malley.
That's why we're doing it. I don't think I could hire you. Just go.
Christopher Lund Furthermouth. Tucker Ivan Pruitt. Nicholas Franklin Roberts. Mitchell Robert Brock. Michael Dominic Santucci. Troy Bader Shaver. Daniel Latimer Schmidt. Tyler A. Scott.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
Bryn Edward Sitkavany. Audrey C. White.
Congratulations.
We're good?
Anybody that knows me knows that this happens every year. The 8th page. Yes, they're on. That's not this. Okay. All right, I believe at this point is the symbolic oath. And so I would ask Chief Jerry Dodd, is he still? Right here? To administer the symbolic oath. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. It's truly an honor to stand before you and graduating class 2017 and the many friends, family, and loved ones here today. 2017, throughout the past 17 weeks, we have openly discussed the importance of park law enforcement ethics and professional conduct. All of you are expected to maintain a behavior, a performance to the highest ethical standard of our society, and are rarely forgiven for any ethical shortcomings or breach of public trust. To be worthy of this public trust and to ensure that your professional conduct is above reproach, you must not only conform to the code of ethics, but today you will take an oath to your friends, to your family, to your loved ones, and even your bosses. The law enforcement oath of honor is a symbolic statement to your ethical commitment. In class, we made a commitment to ourselves. However, today it's time to make a formal commitment and to be witnessed by your loved ones. To truly show that what you sincerely intend to do and what you say you're going to do, you're going to promise that in front of others. When you take this oath, you promise that you'll follow and obey these principles and hold yourself accountable to that promise at all times, today, tomorrow, and in the future. Class 2017, please stand. Class 2017, please raise your right hand. Please listen to each of my words carefully. The law enforcement oath of honor. On my honor, I will never betray my badge, my integrity, my character, or public trust. I will always have the courage to hold myself and others accountable for our actions. I will always uphold the Constitution, my community, and the agency I serve. Class 27, as you stand in front of your family, friends, loved ones, guests, and employers, please acknowledge your commitment to the law enforcement oath of honor by saying, "I do."
I do. I do.
Please lower your hands but remain standing, and I'll turn it over to Commander Ober.
Thank you. Thanks, Chief. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my distinct privilege and within the scope and authority of my position as commander of the Parks Law Enforcement Academy on behalf of the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center in Glencoe, Brunswick, Georgia, and the Washington State Parks and Recreation Commission to give to you your 27 session graduating class of Park Rangers 2017. The order in operation at this point will be as follows. The flags will be retrieved by the honor guard. Then the flags, the cadets, and the bagpipers will go out of the auditorium into the foyer. They will, at that point, be officially dismissed, after which they'll form a receiving line to receive your congratulations.
Retrieve. Right. Yeah, I know it. My endowment goes for medical costs.